Welcome to the latest edition of the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Student Transportation of America from the sub-freezing conditions in the big broadcast center, LNP, LancasterOnline.com. We're going to talk LL hoops as we head into sort of the second half of the regular season and look ahead at what's happening in the sections and beyond. And we're going to do it with, first of all, me, Mike Gross. I'm your host. And to my left, the ebullient Jason Guarente. To my right, the Rhines. Boys basketball, girls basketball. And we had a spectacular day for the Lancaster-Lebanon League on last Saturday, Jason, which you and I both witnessed at Mannheim. This is this annual event where they have 5 games. It used to be LL against the Mid-Penn Conference. Now it's expanded beyond that. But anyway, our teams somewhat surprisingly went 5-0.
Yeah, well, the games were really good. 3 of the 5 games came down to the last possession. And when you schedule a showcase a year in advance, it can be hard to get good matchups and you can get a lot of crummy games. The LL went 5-0. It was Penn Manor, Hempfield, Ephrata, Cedar Crest, and Mannheim Central all won.
Nice.
They did not play powerhouse opponents. I mean, these were 500-ish teams. A couple of them were worse. And these were some of the better teams that we have in the LL. I mean, I think Central and Cedar Crest are league championship contenders. But to win all 5 was a big boost for them because the LL hasn't done real well outside of league play this season, particularly when it plays like a Hershey, who's number 1 in 5A, or York Suburban, or some of these better teams in the higher classification. So it was a good result, and they were able to pull out some really hard-fought games. And I think it was good for different teams for different reasons. Ephrata needed the win for power rating. Hempfield needed the win just because it hasn't won much. You know, some other teams are eyeing championships. So all in all, I think everyone felt pretty good about themselves.
Hempfield up 2 at the end of their game with Cedar Cliff. The Cedar Cliff kid shoots a 3 that does a more than 360 around the rim and then spins out. And the Black Knights get by. So it was some good stuff.
That was actually 6-0 because Mannheim Central girls won the nightcap. They beat Hershey at 8 o'clock at night on Saturday. What
it was
a day.
Long day of hoop-related activity.
What'd you guys think of the Derb? Was that your first visit?
I've been there a few times. It's nice,
It's very nice. It's very nice. And again, you know, the Egyptian pyramids are nice too. And the construction was about the same length.
There you go.
Project,
Perfect.
Right. What's happening?
Okay.
We talked a little bit about the section races last week and big stuff coming up.
Big stuff coming up. Friday night, Section 3, probably for all the marbles, Northern Lebanon at Lancaster Catholic. They're both 6-1. Catholic won up at Northern Lebanon in December. 2-point game, kind of went down to the end. Catholic fended them off. So they're tied. Catholic lost to Mannheim Central first time around. That's Friday night at Catholic, so that's a huge game. Big game. Catholic girls are playing really well here, gang, if you haven't noticed. They've won 8 in a row.
They don't have the firepower that they had last year, but defensively,
they put the clamps on.
They're working.
I saw them Saturday.
They're working it, baby.
Saturday over at Berks Catholic, and Berks Catholic has a kid who's really good, 1,000-point kid who can really pull the trigger and shoot. Catholic held her to 4 with no field goals, so Catholic can really defend. That's a big game on Friday night. The other 3 sections, kind of like the boys, are just kind of out of reach. Lebanon 7-0, up 2 in Section 1. Ephrata 9-0, 12 wins in a row, 2 clear in Section 2. Pequay Valley, huge win over Columbia on Tuesday night. They're 6-0. 2 games clear in Section 4.
And in what looks like a postseason preview kind of measuring stick game, Lebanon and Catholic are going to be playing each other in a non-league game.
Yep, that'll be great. Next Tuesday night, Lebanon at Lancaster Catholic. Yeah, Catholic beat Lebanon in the league final last year, and they could meet again somewhere in that bracket. It
would probably be in the semifinals, though.
If they both win their section
of the league playoffs.
Yes, if they both win their section, 1-1 would play 3-1 in the semifinals. So we're not even close to being there yet.
That's extrapolating down the road.
But that should be a great non-league game next Tuesday.
Jason, section races, what's happening?
The LL is up for grabs, subjected to random variation. You just do not know who's going to win on a given night. Last night, Lampeter Strasburg beat Cedar Crest.
Yeah, how about that?
Cedar Crest has also lost to Conestoga Valley, has also lost to Township, has also lost to McCaskey.
Wow.
So teams can beat Cedar Crest, and Cedar Crest can win the league championship. That's kind of where we are.
Yeah, the league playoffs could be pretty crazy.
I think they will be. I think you'll have 6 or 7 teams that are capable of winning the title. Section races, Cedar Crest and Penn Manor are tied for first. It's a log jam. All those top teams have to play each other. They're 5-2. There's some teams that are 4-3. It's going to have to sort itself out. There'll probably be a tiebreaker to decide who gets into the playoffs, because I can't imagine 2 moving clear of the pack. Warwick is essentially clinched Section 2. Section 3 is a 3-team race. You have Manheim Central ahead, but LS and Octorara knocking on the door. One of those teams is not going to make it into the playoffs, and LS is playing well. They beat Dallastown over the weekend, and they beat Cedar Crest on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's kind of comparable to Section 3 in the girls. So, you got 3. One of those good teams is not going to make league.
And then in Section 4, it's Lancaster Mennonite and everyone else.
Yeah.
Anvil was doing well, but Elijah Slaybach got hurt, and their season is kind of falling off.
That seems
the
like
mouse.
it's more than just a turned over an ankle, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure exactly, but
Yeah,
without
it's
him,
been
they haven't won a league game.
Yeah,
So.
they've been without him.
Lancaster Country Day could sneak into that second spot and has never made the league playoffs. So
Never made it.
That would be a first for the Cougars.
Anything good of the order stuff?
Yes, let's go milestones. Tip of the cap, Alicia Fisher, Lancaster County Christian. She hit the 1,000-point club on Tuesday at Conestoga Christian. Little backdoor layup, so she joins the club. Bunch of kids are getting close to big numbers. Kyla Correa, 1,911 points here at midweek, so she's closing in quick on 2K.
This could be the 3rd consecutive year we had a 2,000-point score.
Correct.
And it's been about 17 years since the boys had one.
How about that,
That's
Maddie?
pretty rare in the boys. And we could have, Lebanon could have a 2,000 and 1,000. Probably will have.
Yes,
A 2,000
yep.
point and a 1,000
Liliana
score in the same class.
Yep, Liliana Harrison is at 951. So there's some, it could happen where she gets 1,000 and she gets
night.
2 on the same night,
that would
which
be nice.
that'd be fabulous. Kylie Masters at Mount Calvary's at 929. Sophia Sanchez at Country Day is at 900 on the dot. So they're all going to hit it. Maddie Nyer hit 2, and then Bree Dreggy hit 2, back-to-back years. And it looks like it's going to be 3 years in a row for the girls. I don't know if anybody's going to get to 2,000 for a while.
Could Olive Brandt get to 1,000 next season?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
She's at 791.
So
So
that'll
she'll
be
hit it.
3 1,000-point scorers on the same team, which is also pretty
That
rare.
would be really awesome. So yeah, good year for milestones. Real good.
Anything in the notes and errata category, Jason?
Garden Spot's Jace Conrad is 22 points away.
He'll get it.
He's one of the best all-around athletes in the LL. He's a great wide
that's
receiver
right.
for
He's
the football
underrated,
team.
yeah.
And you look at Garden Spot's 1,000-point list, there aren't a ton of them, but some of the all-timers, Coach Curtis Waltman's there, Todd O'Brien, who played pro forever, Jordan Shoebridge, who was Lancaster Bible College's all-time leading
right,
scorer.
that's true.
So Garden Spot
He
gets
was
its
a better
money
college
worth.
player than a high school player.
So the Spartans get their money's worth with their 1,000-point scorers, and Jace will join that club. Noah Bailey of Solanco just made it last week, and Elijah Slaybach, we talked about, made it last week as well.
Nice.
All right, gang, the LL rolls on, and we're paying attention, and we'll come back next week and tell you what we see and what we think and what we believe, or something like that. This has been the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Student Transportation of America. For Mike, and for Jeff, and for Jason, we'll see you next time.